아이돌 진짜 너무 최악이에요.
This video contains sensitive topics such as suicide and death, so if you find these topics hard to hear about, you can tune in for another video. Korean entertainment industry is known to be one of the most brutal and toxic industries in the world. From having to train under strict, unhealthy conditions from a very young age to having a horrible bullying and cancel culture. These things can take a very serious toll on artists' mental health, but most of these cases never make it to daylight, and even if some do, they are met with backlashes from different fandoms and media, calling it attention-seeking, failure, or sending horrific comments, or even death threats. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the Korean artists who had a tragic death. Number 1. Suli. If you've been in K-pop for a very long time, you've definitely must have heard about the tragic case of Suli. Suli was a child actor and started her career in acting in 2005. She starred in many dramas before joining SM Entertainment and becoming a trainee. She then became a member of second-generation girl group, FX, and debuted under SM in 2009. The group was met with an instant fame and loved, especially Suli, for having different features, beauty, and skills. She was also known as the it girl of the second generation. But as we all know, with beauty and fame also comes jealousy and hate. As soon as Suli started becoming popular, the reaction of hate chain started against her. She was always a very courageous, kind, and a beautiful human being. She took stand against taboo topics such as abortion, feminism, menstrual health, and she even started the No Bra movement in Korea. But Korea as a nation is quite conservative in its thinking, and especially back in the days, these topics were very frowned upon in the nation. So one could only imagine how much hate she must have gotten for talking about these topics. But the height of absurdity crossed for her when netizens started making fake rumors about her pregnancy to end her career and even sending her death threats for openly dating on social media, which every human on this planet has a right of. The hate on Suli just never seemed to ever end, and we as normal people cannot even imagine how much of this must have impacted her mental health. So at the end, she eventually got tired of fighting them. On October 14 of 2019, Suli was found unconscious in her apartment by her manager, and later it was stated by a autopsy report that it was a suicide. Immediately after her death, all the netizens and the haters which sent her death threats and comments started apologizing on her social media. But it was already too late. She was gone, and nothing now would change the pain and agony she went through alone. Because of this case, an act called the Suli Act was also made for counteracting hate comments in social media, but later it could not pass as a law. But Suli's death made a very serious impact on Korean society and industry, and called for an immediate change in the industry. On December 28 of 2017, almost 2 years before Suli, we had the most tragic news in the history of K-pop. Nobody, even in their worst nightmares, couldn't dream of this. One of the biggest boy band of K-pop lost its most precious member, a group that ran in the 2000s so that the new K-pop could walk, a group which became a sensation between the fans as soon as they entered the industry. And this case is about Jonghyun of SHINee. Jonghyun, since his trainee days, was one of the best artists under SM. He was known for his unmatched and unique voice and a very bubbly and kind personality. He was one of the most popular and loved idols at the time. But Jonghyun always suffered from mental health problems. And in one of the interviews, he even said that sometimes he feels like he cannot do and say what his heart wants. But mental health wasn't a popular topic as it is right now, so there weren't any precautions or actions that were taken against online bullying or hate. Unfortunately, he became the target of the hate train and was always bullied on the internet for some or the other things. And on December 28 of 2017, Jonghyun couldn't live the torturous life and was found unconscious and unresponsive in his Gangnam house. The police investigation found burned cold biscuits on a frying pan, which led to a cardiac arrest due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Right before committing suicide, Jonghyun texted his friends and family saying, "It's been hard. Let me go. Tell me that I've worked hard, and this is my final goodbye." Jonghyun's death shed a light on a very stigmatic topic of mental health in Korea, and many other idols and artists finally came forward about their fights with mental health and in support of Jonghyun. Honestly, this was one of the most devastating news for the whole K-pop community. There were candlelight marches led in different nations across the world to mourn over his death. And later that night, when he was laid to rest, fans saw a blue-colored moon, which is the color of SHINee's light stick. Fans quickly shared this phenomena throughout the internet and said that this was Jonghyun's way of saying the final goodbye to his fans. Though I became a SHINee fan after his death, but sometimes I really wish he was still alive and with us, and we could hear his voice one more time. Even years after his death, fans still comment under his last Instagram post and show their support and love. But it's too late now. He needed this support and love when he was suffering. Now, we can only hope that wherever he is, he's at peace. Third, Kim So-ron. If you've been slightly involved with K-media right now, you would probably have heard about the case of Kim So-ron and a heartbreaking story. This is one of the cases which actually makes me question a lot of belief that I have about my favorite artists. On February 16, 2025, actor Kim So-ron was found dead inside a house by her friend. Initially, this case was going to be a typical suicide case due to the mental toll on the actor. But something didn't fit right with the fans, as a death was announced on the same day as actor Kim So-hyun's birthday. And also, since So-ron worked with Kim So-hyun before, he should really be bothered by her death. But Kim So-hyun posted nothing except a thank you for the birthday wishes to his fans. This led netizens to realize that something wasn't right. Fans and netizens started digging in the case and found the most shocking details as to why Kim So-ron took such a heartbreaking action. Kim So-ron was a child actor and had been in the industry for many years. But in 2022, So-ron had a drunk and drive case in which she accidentally hit a transformer, because of which the electricity was cut from a local area for many hours. This caused her to get terrible hate comments and even death threats. This incident almost took everything from her, as all the bands that she was currently working with started dropping her, asking for compensation, which her then company, which was Gold Medalist Entertainment, settled on her behalf for $483,000. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, and we'll see that in just a minute. Now, after her death, Kim So-ron's aunt came forward and told a YouTuber that Kim So-ron and Kim So-hyun have been dating from November 19 of 2015 till July 7 of 2022. But in 2015, Kim So-ron was only 15 and Kim So-hyun was 27 years old, and they dated for almost 6 years even though she was still a minor. So just like in any case of pedophilia, the first thing the pedophile does is to groom the minor, and Kim So-hyun did exactly that. He asked Kim So-ron to leave her then agency YG and join the agency which he and his uncle made together, that is Gold Medalist Entertainment. And she did exactly that. Later, her aunt also told the YouTuber that she would always do free labor for his company, from teaching the young actors acting to giving them media training. But Kim So-hyun broke up with So-ron when she had a DUI incident. And as I mentioned earlier, So-ron was still signed under his agency, and after her accident, the company paid the compensation money without having any conversation with Kim So-ron or her family, which was very weird because usually companies talk to the artist and make an agreement together about such topics before taking any action. But soon after all this settled down, Gold Medalist started asking almost $13.7 million from Kim So-ron as the compensation they had to pay because of her actions, and they even threatened to file a lawsuit against her if she didn't pay them back. Now, the original compensation was $483,000, which is way less than what they were asking So-ron for. But this later got settled down to the original price. But Kim So-ron's career at this point was almost finished, as she couldn't get any roles or ad, which took a financial toll on her. And in a situation like this, it was very hard for her to pay the company back. So Kim So-ron asked Kim So-hyun to give her some more time and that she would pay him back as soon as she gets the money, and that she genuinely wants to give his money back. And so she would try to call him and message him again and again to do everything she can to try to talk with him. But Kim So-hyun never replied her back, almost ignoring her as if she didn't exist. Kim So-ron got tired of getting ignored by him, that she posted the infamous picture of them kissing together on her Instagram story, just to try to get a reaction out of him. But unfortunately, Kim So-hyun was the nation's heartthrob at that time, as his Queen of Tears drama was still airing, and all his fans took his side and started bullying So-ron, calling her an attention seeker, and said that she just wanted his limelight and wanted to pull him down. Another shocking thing which her father revealed to a reporter was about a Korean YouTuber, Lee Jin-ho, who always made hateful and derogatory videos about her. He said that her videos impacted her so much that every time he made a video about her, she would try to cut herself. Sadly, all of this finally got enough of Kim So-run, and on February 16 of this year, she took her last breath. This is one of the saddest cases I've ever heard. A girl who just wanted to make it big and live her dreams was met with such a tragic death. And also, I would like to remind you all that this is what we know till now. There's so much more that we'll actually never know of because the truth was with Kim So-run, who now is gone too far away from us. Cases like these always remind me of one thing. Your favorite idol is also a man at the end of the day, and you'll never know what kind of person they really are. These kind of incidents are coming more and more to the light and bringing the real personalities of these idols. The sad part is that there are more people in the industry who are just like Kim So-hyun, Dale, and Seungri, who are thriving in the industry and will never be punished for their actions either because they are rich or because they have too much power. The worst part of this story is that there are still people on the internet who are showing support for him. At the end, I would only like to say that idols, actors, and influencers are also human beings, and they also have feelings. So rather than showing support to someone after their death and regretting it, try to show the same support for them while they are alive, and respect them as human beings who have a life aside their careers, and maybe stop trusting and defending your favorite idols blindly because again, you only see what is shown to you and you will never know what kind of people these idols really are because everything is nearly staged to show you and get the views and money out of you. Lastly, if you know someone who is going through a rough time, try to talk to them and take care of them. And if you are an individual who is going through a tough time and wants to talk to someone, there are helplines given in the description box. And please share thoughts and opinions in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.